in a bid to avert the planned protests by the Nigerian Labour Congress taking place across the country today. President Bola Tinubu on Monday unveiled a raft of interventions to provide succor to the austerity measures that followed the economic reforms introduced by his administration in its first 2 months in office. The president, in a statewide broadcast to Nigerians, spoke largely about the nation's economy and the impact of subsidy removal on the well-being of the masses and, by extension, the economy, hereby providing palliative measures to cushion the effects on the citizens and businesses. He acknowledged that the reforms are difficult and painful for Nigerians, but affirmed that they are inevitable, given that they hold the key to transforming the economy and advancing prosperity among the populace. Despite the rollout of the subsidy removal palliative plans by the president, the NLC has decided against all odds to embark on its planned nationwide protest today. Joining me now live to make more sense of this development is a research and data analyst at Budget Foundation, Oluwatosin Isheniyi. Good morning, Tosin. Glad to have you join us on the program.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let's begin our conversation now. First, let me start by asking you, what is your overview of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's nationwide broadcast on Monday? Do you think that all that the president said has any human impact attached to it, going by what is being faced in the country today?
Yeah, firstly, I would like to commend the presidency for taking their time to address the nation. We're not so used to something like that through the past administration, and we appraise him for what he has done. Looking at the 44 paragraph statement, it is important to know that the presidency they've made genuine decisions and progress in ensuring that the removal of subsidy is not going to be felt. Initially, there was a program, I think a rollout for household, about 8,000 naira per household, and we at Budget, we had serious issues with it because looking at the way they would have implemented or disbursed the funds, we know that it won't be a credible one because we know historically how it has been through the palliative and other sort of financial aids that might be passed to household. Looking at the whole the medium, which is the National Social Register, which is a repository for information about potential beneficiaries for multiple social assistance like this. When you look at the social register, you will see that it is not as credible as it should be, because I have seen some persons that are not supposed to be under that register that found their way there. But let's just go past that. We've decided to go a better route, and which is through investing in small and medium scale enterprises. And that is very, very commendable, because by doing so, we are moving the country from a consuming country that it will be to a producing country. So what do I mean by a consuming country to a producing country? When you invest in such businesses, you will increase the number of potential business around. You would have reduced the number of unemployment rate, because as soon as you invest in these businesses, these people too are going to need people that would work for them, So that's it. When we look at the means of which includes probably it is a very, very bulky document.
Okay.
I took my time to go through it. One of them is probably trying to ease up the transportation system in the country. I've seen state governments trying to do something. I think they started implementing it, but at the federal level, we still await it. But so far, what the Tinubu has, or the presidency has planned, is commendable. It's something that we should give time to to implement. We should.
Very, very
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead. I'm with you.
We should allow it to fly. The best great things will come out of it.
Okay, good one there. Now let's take a critical look at some of the key statements made that made up the 44-paragraph speech of the president. The president said it will strengthen the manufacturing sector and increase its capacity to expand and create good-paying jobs. 2, the president also said the sum of 125 billion naira is to be allocated to MSMEs and the informal sector. 3, a fund of 75 billion naira is proposed for 100 startups and MSMEs. And then the promoters of such businesses can get between 500,000 to 1 million naira at a 9% interest rate annually, repayable over 36 months. And a provision of 100 billion naira to the purchase of 3,000, 20-seater buses powered by compressed natural gas for deployment in all states in the next 9 months. New minimum wage is in the pipeline. And then again, an approval of 500 billion for all year-round farming on 500,000 hectares of farmland, amongst others. Tosin, what is your opinion of all of these measures? Are they enough to ameliorate the pains Nigerians are facing, businesses are facing at this crucial time in our country's existence?
Okay, thank you very much. It is a step to a better way. It is something that we will say has it's well, that sometimes it is well thought of, and yes, it cannot totally erase the pain of the removal of subsidy, but I would say it is progressive. The investment in agriculture will help increase the productivity in that sector. And looking at the issues of increase in cost of goods now, it is housed around so many things. And we would, in totality, we will talk about the ease of doing business in Nigeria, which we know that the ease of doing business that has influenced all of this has ensured that products that are moved, the agricultural products that are moved from the north down to the south here, we ensure that it's cheaper. So just imagine that you create a system where the farmers can easily access funds to do their thing, to farm. We are definitely sure that the products that we'll be getting will be cheaper. The food that we'll be getting will be cheaper. Looking at the transport system too, the investment in transportation too will make it easier for people to move around. The cost of transportation will reduce. Looking at the way it has been structured, all of these has made sure that we will not really feel it. I will be lying to you if I say that we will not feel it at all. That would be a lie.
Okay.
But it is a progress. It is something that we know that it will change the whole scenario from a very, very harsh decision to a mid one. And going forward, we know that the presidency, from its statement, will ensure that we will ease into the removal of subsidy, and all of this stress will be something of the past.